Do we see a shield? I can't imagine any scenario where you shield here. Okay. Trying to get charmed down. Okay, swaps out with the move. Shields and swaps out. Interesting play.
Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you have been a follower of my channel for quite some time, you'll know that it's taken me a while to get through this series of videos, but we're almost there, and that is the Go Team Up Worlds video series. My team, the Cool Cats, participated in a World Championship for a team format based on our performance in previous tournaments, and a number of teams were invited. We made it through both group stages, and we are now in the semifinals, and we are facing none other than the Elite Four, which are comprised of House Stark, Arroh, ValorAsh, and Toshi. All four of these players are pretty well known in the community, and definitely is not going to be an easy matchup. If you're not familiar with the rules, each player plays an opponent in the opposing slot, and you'll battle 5 total times using teams drafted uniquely within your own team, so you can't have repeating Pokemon within each respective team, but you may have duplicating Pokemon against opponents. The combined score of all the total wins determines which team wins, and a cool little wrinkle in the rules is that each team gets to choose one player to earn double the amount of points for each win. They call it the double down, or DD. I explained all these rules and more in my previous Go Team Up Worlds video, so if you're confused, definitely check those out as well. One thing to note is that these battles took place a little over a year ago. There might be some Pokemon that you don't see that are commonly used these days, such as Walrein or Trevenant, or some movesets that may look a little odd, such as no Zap Cannon on Registeel because it wasn't released on Registeel back then. These battles also took place shortly after XLs were introduced, so one thing to note is my Bastion is not an XL Bastion. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. In this first battle, it's myself versus House Stark, the 2 captains of the respective teams, and as you can see our teams on the side here, this is a Powder Snow Alone Ninetales. This is before Weather Ball got nerfed, so Powder Snow Ninetales is pretty strong here, and whatever moveset you have locked in the beginning tournament is the one you have to run with for the remainder, so that's why you can't really TM in between to make it be fair. Alright, so I do win switch advantage here, but this Jellicent is kind of a problem for my team. My Venusaur is going to do okay here against it, but if it has Ice Beam, I'm kind of in trouble. They're running Bubble Beam, so likely this is going to be a Shadow Ball. And I do have my Frostlass in the back, and it's going to be a Scrafty. So this is interesting. Scrafty, typically speaking, this is not a terrible spot with the Frostlass, but they do have, I don't have any shields, and this Foul Play is going to hurt quite a bit. I have to farm quite a bit of energy here as well, so I am going to have to tank a couple counters. Unfortunately, I don't have much health left for this Jellicent and do not live the Hex. So that's 1 point for House Stark. Neither of us are double downs for our team, so these will just be 1 point apiece. Skarmory lead, and I had to swap in Shadow Machamp into a Skarmory. Not a great time. But yeah, so we're in kind of a tough spot here, and does go straight for the Bubble Beam as well, which puts me in kind of a tough spot. I'm going to have to shield the Bubble Beam if I want a chance to win switch advantage here. I'm going to go for the cross chop here to potentially get a shield, and he actually no shields, which is very disastrous for me. I was hoping for a shield there, and now I go for the Rock Slide, and he does shield this, which is not good. I really need a switch advantage there, but unfortunately I was not able to get it. So I'm going to start farming a little bit here because I didn't really want to tank a Shadow Ball on my Venusaur. I want a slight energy lead here. Unfortunately, it's a Scrafty. So pretty hard countered, all things considered. I could have potentially flipped things if I land that Rock Slide, but I thought he was going to shield, and unfortunately he did not shield. So this is a tough one. This is not an XL Bastion. Regular Bastion still tanks these pretty well, but oh, this is not a fan. But it doesn't matter XL or not, it's not going to be a Scrafty in this situation. So Off to a rough start, but it is like that sometimes. And a terrible lead again. I am going to safe swap into Mew here, and I do have the Wild Charge moveset, so I am going to go for a bait here, and let's see if he shields. He does shield. That's perfect. And I'm going for another bait here. Need to get both of these shields down, and we get a second shield, which is huge. I don't know if I end up clicking the move. Unfortunately, I did. So we do drop the Wild Charge, but that's okay. We won switch advantage, and that's most important. And now we have the matchup we want. Still get to another Wild Charge, which is absolutely huge. And they come in with the Scrafty here. Scrafty can definitely put in some work with foul plays, but Venusaur's Frenzy Play is going to hit quite hard. I just really need to take this Scrafty out before it gets locked into my Bastion. The key thing is he has to expend most of his energy here, so he won't have a lot of energy on the Scrafty. And I do come in the Bastion to finish it off, and now we have a Bastion against low Ninetales, and that's going to be a good spot. So very tough lead, but able to win switch with a 2-shield Mew there to finally get a point on the board here. All right, we do have Jellicent into Mew, and this is kind of a weird one. So I'm going to go straight for the Wild Charges because I have the Venusaur here. It looks like he's going to throw his move, and I actually no shield, and it ends up being a Bulb Beam, which is huge for me. This is probably another Bulb Beam, and it is. That's really nice. And then now we do throw a Wild Charge here to just get some damage. Unfortunately, it's super debuff, so I'm probably better off, honestly. Yeah, probably better off, honestly, just saving the energy there. But it's okay. I do come in with my Venusaur here, and we're going to let this go. Maybe farm down. No, I do get to this final Frenzy Plan, so that's fine. Give a little farm to the Jellicent, and no, it's actually going to be the Scrafty. This is fine. We do have 2 shields still, so we're going to shield. Unfortunately, it's a Power Punch, but that's okay. I am going to throw the Shadow Ball here, and it is going to take out the Jellicent. This might be another Power Punch, and it is a little unfortunate, but we do have a lot of energy here, and just want to play safe. Should be able to get to another Avalanche just in time, and we do. I think it might have been even CMP there, but able to finish off the Scrafty. So, even up the score 2-2, which I'll take any day against House Stark. A disastrous lead, unfortunately, and then now comes in the Skarmory. I didn't see the Skarmory a lot in the past few games, so I expected it not to come out, but unfortunately, the Skarmory is out, and this is not going to be great, obviously, for the Venusaur. Luckily, I could tank the damage on my Bastion, and I purposely don't throw the final Frenzy Plant because I kind of want a little bit more farm here. Yeah, I know they're probably not going to give up switch advantage here, and so that's going to be okay. Just going to get a little bit of extra energy as much as I can here, and then I'm going to come in with my Machamp. And the Power Punch, which I thought was a little weird, so I no-shield it. But then they come in with a Lickitung, and honestly, if I shielded that Power Punch, I might be in a better spot. So it's actually a really nice heads-up play, because House Stark knows I'm not going to shield that Power Punch, and it's going to give him the extra chip damage he needs to potentially finish off my Machamp, and that's exactly what happens here. And now we're in a tough spot because he still has a shield, and I need to get to a second Flamethrower somehow, and that does not look very likely here, and we do get finished off. So we do lose 3-2 against House Stark, but that's only the first of 4 sets of battles. So now we have my teammate ChaoticAce versus Toshi here. This is a fairly decent matchup for ChaoticAce. Unfortunately, it is going to be neutral. It does go straight for this Earthquake here, and it does get shielded. But he actually comes in with his Skarmory here. Surprising, doesn't come in with the Abomasnow. Not really sure why. Maybe expected something else in the back. Maybe like Altar or something. I don't know. Abomasnow probably would have been a little better there. Unless it's running Blizzard, but even Blizzard is going to take a little bit energy. Does end up shielding a Weather Ball, and it's going to commit both shields here. Yeah, definitely doesn't want to lose switch advantage, which I don't understand because the Melmetal is very good against Abomasnow, the Shadow Abomasnow at that. And now comes in with the Politoed. Politoed's going to probably take another superpower, which is going to put it quite low here, and it's going to be the case, and actually instantly swaps to the Abomasnow. So expecting the Skarmory in the back here, or the Altari in the back, which makes a lot of sense. But this Rock Slide is going to do a lot of damage. Does get to the Energy Ball though. How much health does this Politoed have? Does it have a Weather Ball? And no, 1 month shut off. So a really close battle actually between both trainers. but they're going to get a point for Toshi there. And this is not good because we've already saw the Earthquake there, and so Toshi knows it's going to be a very solid matchup. No need to shield regardless. I'm going to throw these Sky Attacks to kind of whittle down this Melmetal. Looks like is going for the Brave Bird on the second one, and this is going to be pretty good. I'm going to do a lot of damage. It goes unshielded, and it does go unshielded. Does he shield? No, he doesn't shield. I expect maybe a potential shield there to win switch advantage, but putting everything on the Abomasnow here, which might not be a bad idea, because Abomasnow looking very good outside of pretty much that Alolan Marowak in the back. So ChaoticAce playing for the shields instead, and does get baited unfortunately by a Weather Ball. Kind of a curious shield actually, because I think we might have saw the Earthquake at this point too, but I guess the Weather Balls are actually really adding up. So unfortunately, forced to shield 2 Weather Balls here, but and what a play by Toshi there to actually snipe down Abomasnow with the Sky Attack. This is not looking good at all. No Blizzard here. This is definitely going to be a GG's. Regardless of if Weather Ball was nerfed or not since then, there's no Weather Ball strong enough to overcome Altaria unless it's a Ice Weather Ball. Alright, so down 2 to start against Toshi here, but definitely some close matches throughout. Terrible lead, does bring in Deoxys Fence this time, and now we actually see the Alolan Marowak, which is very unfortunate, but at the same time too, this is pretty good to get out of the way so that the Skarmory doesn't have to deal with it. Goes straight away for the Shadow Bone, and then now is going to throw the Rock Slide here, and maybe gets a Psycho Boost. No, it does not. Just misses out on the the Psycho Boost there. Actually comes in with the Politoed here, so this is pretty interesting. Looks like this might almost even be CMP here. No, it's not. All right, so going for some aggressive energy, and then now, ooh, this is gonna be tough. Skarmory's gonna have to do a lot of work here by itself. And Skarmory comes in, but it is a Melmetal, and this is really not looking good for ChaoticAce here, and I think he knows as well, so he does still go for the shields though. He's not going to concede right away, but that Altaria alone is going to be hard to take out, let alone this whole Melmetal. So yeah, so definitely going down, swinging, but this is looking pretty rough for ChaoticAce here. Does go for potentially a catch there too, actually, but yeah, the Altaria is very healthy. So down 3 pretty early, unfortunately, but still 2 more battles to go in this set, and this is kind of neutral, especially with the Rock Slide, so it's not too bad. Goes straight away for Rock Slide, not even going to try to overfarm anything, and does land it, which is quite nice. Switch advantage might be pretty crucial because we've seen the Melmetal quite a bit here, and so ChaoticAce probably wants that matchup with the Politoed onto the Melmetal. And let's see if he commits 2 shields. No, actually lets this one go. Okay. And actually gets to the Psycho Boost though. That's actually really crucial here. And gets a shield. So that's a huge shield grabbed. And then now Abomasnow has energy. And here comes the Melmetal as expected. Throwing the energy ball here for a lot of damage. And then now coming in with the Politoed and catching the energy here, which is pretty nice. Ends up being a superpower. And then here comes the Politoed. ChaoticAce is going to get to his Earthquake first because it had a slight energy lead. Looks like Toshi just wanted to overfarm it a bit anyway, and goes for a Weather Ball actually. Not going to get shielded, but just goes for a second Weather Ball too. And then this is okay. Goes for probably Powder Snow down. Probably no need to really shield this, and yeah, ChaoticAce does let it go, and then now has the Energy Ball. And we saw how much it did the first time around. It's going to do a lot of damage still, and take out the Melmetal. So getting some points, very needed points for us here, and here is a very positive looking matchup at the moment. Probably gonna have to shield this, and does shield it, and is gonna overfarm a little bit here, and gonna throw this Weather Ball to take out the Altaria. Looking like it's going to go for the Energy Ball here, which is, even though resist is still going to do a good chunk of damage to this little Marowak. Maybe not as much as I thought it would actually, but does get to this Weather Ball before a little Marowak even throws a move. That's huge. Gets a shield too. That's a big crucial shield because the Shadow Ball is not going to be super crucial. And then actually coming in with a Tropius. I think ChaoticAce expected maybe a Melmetal in back, which is why he shielded a Shadow Bone here, but this is not looking good for Toshi at all. Finally, a really nice matchup for ChaoticAce, one that he was probably hoping for this entire time. There's a complete undercharge here just to store up a little bit even more energy here and burn the timer even more. And then here comes the Alone Marowak. I'm going to go straight for that hard-hitting Brave Bird, and then now has a Weather Balls for the combo play here to take out the Alone Marowak, and then Tropius still remaining, but getting to his Weather Ball. So able to get 2 points still after going down 0-3, so it's very impressive, especially because that's very tough. I think for people's morale and stuff, but ChaoticAce held strong. And now we have our teammate CochinoMum against ValorAsh. CochinoMum is our double down here, so every win that she gets will earn us 2 points, whereas ValorAsh is still earning the standard 1 point. So definitely a very pivotal match for both teams. Every point that ValorAsh denies is also very, very big for them as well. Able to win switch advantage there. This Venusaur is not going to do amazing against this Melmetal, but Melmetal is not going to be able to tank the Frenzy Plans very well either here too. So it's going to be kind of close, and it looks like some mutual lag, but able to get to this second rock slide, and actually it's not enough to KO the Venusaur, which is very unfortunate because now this Altaria has taken out a Crustle, and this is not great. Going for the neutral Sky attacks here is going to need potentially 2 there. Maybe Dragon Pulse and some Dragon Breath would have been enough, but it's hard to say. Alright, so ValorAsh is going to earn a point there, denying us a crucial 2-pointer there. And then now we have Talonflame here. Talonflame going to be kind of interesting against Melmetal because these Incinerates are definitely adding up here. And so it's not a great spot to be in, even though you have double super effective rock slides here. Goes for a double shield here too, which is definitely interesting here. And then now coming in with the Altaria to try to finish this off. Unfortunately, it looks like it's almost even CMP, so forcing CochinoMum to shield here. But does finally get this pesky Talonflame out of the way, and we see the Crustle, and then unfortunately it's a Galvantula. This is not great, especially because they could go straight discharge here, and unfortunately taking it out before even getting enough damage. And then yeah, we got that pesky Crustle as well, per usual here, and that is not going to be great by any means for this Altaria. Crustle never looking so good in Great League before, but it is looking good right now. Alright, getting another point for ValorAsh. This is putting us in a tough position here. Definitely need some points soon if we want to stay in this, because there's only so many points remaining to be gathered up, even without seeing the 4th matchup here. Does a bait with lunge there, and then now going for another lunge. Interesting. Probably could have gone for a discharge at that point, but deciding to go for the resisted lunge, and then CochinoMum going for that super power too. Just wanted to get to it as soon as possible, and then gets farmed down here. Alright, so Altaria coming in to soak some of this damage and soaking up another lunge, throwing straight lunges, expecting a swap here, and then here comes the Venusaur. This is actually not too bad of a matchup, especially with the shield advantage here. Toxicroak is going to be able to do pretty well, and it does technically resist a Frenzy Plant, but Frenzy Plant just hits so hard, so you don't really want to risk it. And is going to throw this final Mud Bomb as well too. Not sure if the Mud Bomb was completely necessary, but definitely wants to just make sure to KO the Venusaur. And yeah, this Mud Bomb is going to do a ton of damage and able to finish off with the Altaria. So grabbing us 2 crucial points there. So very key for our team there too. I think still 2 more matches to go. The Sayswap Galvantula is actually pretty strong here, but does shield a discharge, which is huge because now these moves are not debuffed, and then ValorAsh letting the Galvantula get farmed down completely and letting go at the expense of 1 shield. CochinoMum maintaining switch advantage and having energy remaining, which is quite nice. It's just going to go double superpower here, which I like because debuffs this Melmetal a little earlier, so that way it doesn't. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, so doesn't allow there to be as big of a farm down, or maybe we're just trying to kill the switch timer here. But this is going to be interesting. Still 2 shield Talonflame here, so this is going to be, yeah, going to have to let this go, and it's going to be a flame charge. I like the no shield call there, because if it's Brave Bird, she just shields and just finishes it off. Goes for double flame charge, unfortunately, so this is going to be kind of tough because she'll have to catch Brave Bird here, and gets a catch here. It's a huge catch too. It is going to be the Brave Bird. What a catch there to save the game, and even up the total score to is now 8-8, which is really nice for us. We definitely need to get this last one to be up ahead, but a great catch from ValorAsh as well, catching that rock side here, and this is going to be interesting. The Talonflame is not going to be great against this Altaria. My guess is maybe a Crustle comes in here instead of the Talonflame. I could be wrong though. Oh, it's actually going to be the Galvantula, so there is no Crustle here. So Galvantula coming in here and actually just tanking this energy, not even shielding. Probably going to shield the second one? No, doesn't even shield, putting everything on Talonflame here. What a madman. But I like the strategy because I could already see how it's working. Energy on Talonflame, no energy on the Melmetal. And then now you can't really counter down from this range either. And so this Talonflame is poised to sweep. CochinoMum doing everything she can to stay alive here. But unfortunately, still having a shield remaining on ValorAsh's side. And the Incinerate coming through. And just finishing off the Altaria. And throwing even a Brave Bird for good measure. So, Elite Four is now up 9-8. And Arroh, their final player versus our final player, Arrohh. Arroh is also double down, so for each win Arroh gets here, he gets double the amount of points. This means Arroh doesn't even need to win. He just needs to win 2 out of the 3 matchups, and they win the whole series. So a lot is riding on the line here. We have Arrohh doing his best to close out the series for us, as you see both teams here on the screen. And here comes a Shadow Hypno, so this is going to be interesting. Getting off this Weather Ball, which is nice, and getting a shield there. So that's some good situation there. Throwing a Thunder Punch, so maybe having a Shadow Ball afterward, and then actually coming in with the Mandibuzz here. So this is going to be interesting. You see Arrohh doing everything he can to throw these spammy body slams. Throwing another one too. This is huge because this is Snarl Mandibuzz. So Snarl Mandibuzz is not going to do as much damage here. Is going to shield the Arrow Ace, expecting maybe a Shadow Ball or Thunder Punch combo from Arroh. So no need to really save shields. And probably had to shield one of those anyway. And then comes in with the Hypno and gets hit by the body slam. And somehow this is wireless, taking out both the Hypno and the Mandibuzz too. Definitely putting in a lot of work there too. So we do get a point to tie up the series, but we got a long way to go if we want to somehow advance to the finals. Now coming in with the Hypno here by Arroh, and then now coming in with this wireless, expecting probably the Thunder Punch, Shadow Ball, or Fire Punch combo. Throws another Thunder Punch, so no big deal. And the Arrohh not going to shield again, and actually having Ice Punch. So very interesting. I think Arroh just playing some mind games, but Arroh very confident here, actually able to farm down. I think if Arroh went for 2 Ice Punches, this would be a different story, but want to kind of keep the, I guess, Ice Punch mystery alive. Kind of interesting. Now we do have Registeel. Again, this is before Zap Cannon was on Registeel, but honestly, Flash Cannon, much better against Fairies. So we're 2-0 so far in this set, which is very necessary for us here. And then we have the Hypno into the Alolan Ninetales here. And you can see this is probably going to go unshielded here. And then we have this Wireless here still to probably farm this down. Now Arroh does know his Ice Punch, so he's going to respect the Ice Punch here and does take it out. And here comes a Registeel. It's going to be interesting. My guess is Arrow's Tropius does have Air Slash, so this is not a great matchup for the Tropius. Is going to respect the Focus Blast, which is exactly what's going to be thrown here. And then now throwing a Body Slam bait here. Do we get a second shield? That'd be huge. No shield here. And actually coming in with the Machamp. Looks like it's CMP here, which is a little unfortunate. But is still going to throw the Sleep Blade as soon as possible. It does get shielded either way, so it doesn't make a huge difference. And then Arroh throwing a Cross Chop here and getting the farm down the Swilus, throwing the Body Slam here, not even going for Dark Pulse, wanting to get rid of this Registeel and finishing it off. So Arrow's on fire, 3-0 at the moment here. This is a terrible lead though. And then we see a very tough counter swap here, but we know that there's no Shadow Ball. So this is actually not as bad as it seems, because these are just going to be punches, but these confusions are really adding up and the resisted counters aren't really doing too much. And Arroh not able to really do too much here and is going to let it go, understanding that he can't really win this matchup even if he double shields. So Unfortunately, did not get any shield advantage there. Ends up coming in with his own Regiseal instead, wanting to get a little entry lead, knowing that the lone Ninetales doesn't have too much play here. And now comes into a Mandibuzz. So really good alignment for Arroh. And unfortunately, not looking great for Arrohh. Arrohh trying to go for a catch even, but that's going to be very tough. And these flash cannons are going to hurt. You can see if it was Zap Cannon, it'd be a different story. You actually could tank it, but you can't tank a flash cannon on a lone Ninetales. So going to let this next one go through. Does have some energy left on this Regiseal, so could make a play here still. And Arroh just letting it go. Understanding that the Mandibuzz can actually tank a move, and if you save a shield for it, Mandibuzz is going to do quite well here. And you can see that Arrohh very understanding the matchup and is just going to not no shield as well, knowing the writing on the wall. We're tied 11-11. So far, it's a 3-1 run from Arrohh so far, making this into the final battle of the entire series here. Everything's right on the line to see who makes it to the finals for Go Team Up Worlds, and swaps in a Regiseal here and met by the Medicham. This is huge here. Medicham is going to be able to put in some work. Unfortunately, it only has resisted moves for charge moves, but the Psychic is still going to do a good chunk. Getting a defensive drop too, which is nice. And then Arrohh maintaining switch advantage by shielding, and then the Whimsicott still here, shields the Whimsicott as well too, getting the counter through. And then here comes the Mandibuzz, and this is not looking great for Arrohh because we still have a full health Regiseal. Regiseal not planning on losing again to a Mandibuzz, and getting a shield there as well. And now here comes the Regiseal to close out this series. Can the Mandibuzz put in work? It needs a lot of energy to do so. There's still a Medicham in the back here, and it looks like Arrohh is going to land the Flash Cannon and go for another Flash Cannon to close out the series and help our team clutch out a victory. What an incredible performance from Arrohh and everyone in this entire series. But to think of it, you know, for us as a team, all three of our players besides Arrohh went 2-3, and Arrohh was able to close it out with a 4-1. So only going positive in one of our matchups against the Elite Four, but we went positive in the matchup that really mattered. What an incredible semifinals. We are now moving forward to the finals, and I'll be sure to edit that video as soon as possible so that you don't have to wait months to see the end result of the Go Team Up Worlds. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch y'all next time.
I'm a bit concerned for Arrohh back at Elite Four headquarters that he's going to be bullied and beat up by the rest of them. But we'll have to see how that one turns out here. Congratulations again to the Cool Cats for moving on to the grand finals.